Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank I am playing is the KV5. This is a Russian Tier 8 heavy tank. The map is Pilsen. I am going to get 8 kills in this game. I'm going to do 3,700 damage and 1,375 EXP. Now this is a relatively new map, and I don't know this as well as I know the other maps, but I'm going to tell you my basic strategy. First of all, depending on which tank I have, if I usually have a heavy tank or if I want to fight heavy tanks, I usually go exactly to the spot where I'm headed right now, which is the pile of rubble here in this corner. And if you watch my videos, you'll know that I like to play in the middle of the map. And this is not really the middle of the map, but it gives you a good access to the middle of the action for this particular map. Now you'll notice that the rest of my team is slow taking up position. I don't know if it's because they're driving slow or if they were slow to get into position. I don't know. And if you look on the east side, the light tanks and the medium tanks, they're not taking up good positions. We do have one tank spotting the middle of the map, which is the M41 Bulldog. We've got 3 or 4 tanks that are still at the spawn. And the 2 artilleries don't look like they've moved. Or they haven't gone anywhere interesting. So I'm going to say that this is a very conservative team, and I don't expect a lot for them at this point in the game. So I don't have high hopes for them. Okay, so let's move on. This is a premium tank.
A player has joined the platoon.
And I am platooning for whatever reason. Now usually what I do is I have my gun aimed in the sniper mode down this alley. And the reason why is because you're going to have tanks that drive across completely oblivious to what's going on, and you can shoot at them. And sometimes more than one tank will drive across here. And the other reason why is if a tank passes this rubble, you have a better chance of getting the first shot in. Depends on your camo rating and on their camo rating and your spotting ability. I maximize my camo and my spotting for all of my tanks. You'll notice that all of my tanks always have camo on them. Every battle I have camouflage on my tanks, and my crew members almost always have 100% camouflage for each crew skill. Okay, you'll also notice that there are 2 tanks spotted in the middle, which is the IS-3 and the Chaffee. There's no reason why the IS-3 should be there, but I would keep an eye on him, because obviously if he comes around to get behind me, he becomes a high priority. Okay, let's see what happens. I wonder who spotted that FCM-50T. I mean, he's way out there. Okay, so as you can see, the IS-3 did come through. It's not necessary in this particular case to turn the tank around, because he can only see the turret of my tank. So at this point, I'm not worried about the back of my tank or the side of my tank, and I'm going to try and hit him as quickly as I can. And you can see that his gun is pointed away from me. One thing about the KV5 is that the gun is not that good. So when you fail to penetrate, if you look at the bottom, you'll notice that I switched rounds to APCR rounds.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
You'll notice I had to wait for the M41 Bulldog to pass by. I had to hold my fire. Now the other thing is, even though I'm somewhat in a hull down position, I am in the process of turning my tank around. And you're going to see me turn the tank around so that it's showing my frontal armor instead of my side armor. You'll also notice that a split second before I fired, I stopped turning my tank. And the reason why I did that is so that the gun will aim in a little bit more. This is not the angle that I want. So you'll notice that after I fired, I continued to turn my tank. And I did actually turn it farther than necessary, but that's irrelevant. As far as I know, I didn't do any damage on that tank. You'll also notice that I switched my rounds back to the regular rounds. Right now I have the APCR round loaded. However, I clicked the 1 button and it's highlighted in orange so that the regular round will load on the next shot.
Ready to fire.
Now you have a case here where we've got 2 tanks, the WZ-111 and the Chaffee. The Chaffee is a tier 5. I'm 3 tiers higher than that. Any round I shoot at it is going to cause damage. So he's a high priority target because he's only got 145 hit points. And you want to kill them. Even though his gun is weak, he will spot tanks and he can still cause damage. So he needs to go. Between him and the WZ, he is the higher priority tank.
Enemy vehicle destroyed. Target acquired. Target released.
Now you will notice that I am using the column while I'm reloading. I'm hiding behind the column. Now here's another example where there's no need for me to expose more of my tank right now. Since I can take a shot at him, I'm not going to move. I'm just going to stay right where I am. And you'll also notice that I'm at a very good angle. It might not be the perfect angle, but this is the this is very similar to the angle you want to be at when you shoot at enemy tanks. You want the gun barrel to be a little bit to the inside of the track so that if he hits the side of your tank, it's more likely to bounce. It's not the same angle for every tank. It depends on where the turret is located on the hull of the tank. This turret is a little bit forward, but it's a good angle for this tank.
Penetration.
So you'll notice that I continued to reverse, and as I reverse, I'm getting more cover. I'm hiding my tank behind these solid objects to my right, and I still have a good angle. In fact, I think I heard a shell bounce off my tank. So if he fired off of me, you'll notice I haven't taken any damage yet. When you aim at this tank, the WZ-111, you want to aim for what's called the lower plate. You can see that's where I hit him. And the other option is there's a plate here. It's called piked armor. You want to hit the pike that's the left side because it's actually flat at the angle that we're coming at. And if you're shooting high explosive rounds, you're going to hit the side of the turret where the star is on either side, or you're going to hit the tracks, but you don't want to hit too low. You want to hit at a spot where it can actually do some damage. And of course you want to go for the commander's hatch if you're able to aim in accurately enough. You'll notice that I'm reversing while I'm reloading in order to protect my armor. And I'll go forward when I'm ready to shoot. It looks like I hit him a little bit high. That's perhaps where the shot hit. It would have been better to hit on this part of the tank. He's at a horrible angle. The gun is not going over the front. It's going over the side of the tank. So I could easily penetrate. This is very poor what he's doing. But unfortunately, I missed a shot. I fired a little bit too early. While I'm reloading, I'm staying behind the slope. Now you'll notice that I was exposed a little bit. And the reason why was because he was driving forward, but he stopped, and because he stopped, I had to reverse to keep cover.
Enemy is hit.
So now finally he's at an angle where it's still good to hit the side tracks, but he's got a better angle now.
That one didn't go through.
You can see I hit the piked armor and it did not do any damage, and I've still taken no damage. And now he's dead.
Armor is destroyed.
And you'll notice I've also switched back to the regular rounds. So I've got 2 kills. You can see the score is 5-7. A lot of my team is gone. Obviously, we've got a tank here with 4 hit points, and it looks like I was aiming at the Tiger when I should have been aiming at the low. Let's see what happens. Oh, ammo racked him. That's good. Okay, that's 3 kills. That's 4 kills. Apparently they were unaware that I was here. You'll see that the ROM... What the heck was that? Oh, okay. The ROM is a one-shot now. Okay, so... He was obviously unaware that I fired 2 shots at him. He did not move. I got 5 kills. That's 6 kills. Obviously, I'm going to penetrate anything. The key is to shoot as quickly as possible, which is why I use the auto-aim. The auto-aim is going to aim on that tank very quickly, and no matter how he moves, I'm going to get a good shot in. So we got 6 kills. He's obviously unaware that I'm shooting at him. The score is 12-9. We were behind. Now, this is a case where when I'm coming around the corner, I went into the sharpshooter mode because I wanted to hit as quickly as possible. The first amount of any tank that I saw exposed, if you want to do that, you usually have to be in the sharpshooter mode. I have done it without being in the sharpshooter mode before, meaning that you're in a mode like this and you kind of pick over here where you want to fire. It's a little bit more difficult, and I don't do it as often. And also I had to be worried, I was worried about hitting an ally. Now in this case I've got the auto-aim, and the reason why is because if I had reloaded in time, I would have fired in the space between the tank and the doorway. But unfortunately, he did move by too fast. That would have been a good time to use the sniper mode. I might have had a chance to hit him in the tail. You see my gun is tracking him. As soon, and what I'm doing here is I'm focusing on driving. As soon as the triangle, where did it go? It was just there. Okay, so the triangle is now gone, but it was there a second ago. As soon as I pass the doorway and that triangle turns green, I'm going to fire. Because I'm a tier higher than him and I've got APCR loaded, there's a very high chance it's going to penetrate, especially because it's probably going to hit the back of his tank. And I'm just going to chase after these guys, and I'm going to keep my eye on that green triangle. And it can be done in auto-aim mode. There's lots of people who say never use auto-aim. It's just not true. I would rather use auto-aim. If you watch the pro players when they use the sniper mode, they take a little bit of time aiming, and time is precious. When you're loaded and you take an extra split second to aim, you lose time and you increase the chance that someone's going to hit you. Or let's say if you can do 10 shots in 1 minute, maybe if you do sharpshooter mode, you might only get 9 shots in 1 minute. So you fire faster, you shoot more rounds, you kill them before they kill you, which is the reason why I use the auto aim. So you can see the score is 14-10. I got 8 kills, and I took no damage in this game. The first part was primarily because of angling. The second part was because the enemy was unaware that I was shooting at them, and they were in a very weak position. You can see that one of my allies is saying, good game, KV. This could have been a 9-kill game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the 9th kill. The enemy artillery decided to suicide, so at some point you're going to see that he was lost in battle. Okay, so this is the game. It's the KV5. It's a tier 8 Russian premium tank. The map is Pilsen. I'm going to talk a little bit about this tank. In terms of is it worth it, this tank has absolutely wonderful armor. The gun reloads rather quickly, but the penetration on the gun is not that great. So you might have to fire APCR rounds a little bit more with this tank than you would with another Tier 8 tank. The tank has good armor, which means it's excellent for ramming. It's got a moderate speed. If you're on solid ground, like pavement, you're going to go pretty fast. And it's good for shooting in a hull down position. In comparison to other tanks, KV5, it's a good premium Tier 8 heavy tank. I do like playing it. I'm going to show you what my crew looks like. I use the crew from my T10 and my IS4. This is not my best crew. I believe it's my IS4 that has the best crew. I'm not sure. Let's see what the T10 has. But you can see I've got 4 skills up to 80%. This is from the soccer mode, which is why I haven't converted it over yet to regular mode. But I always play with the best skilled crew commander and lower skilled other players. This way I can level them up. So that's why I don't have the best crew on here. You can see that I use camouflage. I use snapshot and smooth ride for all of my tanks that I expect to fire with. In terms of how does this compare to other heavy tanks Tier 8, it's kind of moderate or average. I would not say that it's the best Tier 8 premium tank. For example, the IS-3A is a great Tier 8 heavy tank. I highly recommend this, or the WZ-111, or the T-34. I would say only take the KV5 if you've already got those tanks. But it is fun to play, and it is good if you have a lot of Russian tanks. You can see that I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 Russian premium heavy tanks. Okay, so that's the KV5. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.